They
But here
go,
we
and
are.
that's our professional ring. So shall we make a start?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to you, Kai Baptiste. This interview has been a very long time in coming, and I am delighted to be interviewing you on the Author to Author podcast. How are you?
I I am super awesome, but I'm sick at the same time. I'm recovering from a cold, so at the moment it's a lot of up and down for me. But in the general perspective of things, I'm in a pretty good space. I'm in a pretty good mood, and with what is coming up for 2026, yeah, I'm pretty damn all right now.
Well,
Yeah.
this is it. And what our listeners don't know yet
Mhm.
is the big announcement that you're going to be making during this interview. I know already. So I'm absolutely ecstatic and bursting with pride and honored to be having this interview with you. I think we need to let our viewers know a little bit about each other and our
Mhm.
relationship. I was struggling to remember last night. How long is it that we've known each other? I remember when we met, but I don't actually remember how long ago that was. But I think we're talking about 2005,
Yeah,
2006.
around 2006, I would say. So it's probably a good 15, 20 years going up.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, this broadcast goes out in 2026, and if we
Mm-hmm.
met in
In
2006, I
2006.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, we are
Yeah.
talking the anniversary of 20 years since we have known each other.
Oh,
So, absolutely ages.
girl.
Wow. And this isn't our only project that we have done together. You
Oh,
were
wow.
on the Author to Author podcast
Yeah.
along with
Mm-hmm.
Carlene Forbes, one of my good friends.
That was good
And
fun.
yeah, we were shooting the breeze. And obviously,
Hmm.
we were talking about your businesses, which we're going to
Yeah.
get into today as well.
Yeah.
And we also had our own clubhouse room on
Okay.
Clubhouse called
Yeah.
Daughters of the Caribbean. And although it was short-lived, I really would say it was highly effective
It was.
over the episodes that we did have. We had quite a few people who were joining
Hmm.
on, who were taking part.
Hmm.
So that was quite a successful project that we have been involved in. But let's
Hmm.
go back. Let's go back to you, Petra, and let's go back to the Island Girl. So I notice you have your Island Empress t-shirt on. Tell me where you hail from and what was life like for you growing up in the Caribbean?
Originally, I am from Saint Lucia, and I early childhood was on that island, and I had a fairly decent upbringing. Uh, my mom was my only parent who genuinely made that effort, and she did a decent effort. I was like we were saying, St. Lucia, I wasn't last. I wasn't last. I up to recently, I was speaking to my mom about this, and I was commending her on the effort that she made, or she has continued to make as a parent, as a single mother, and we always talk about we want our flowers whilst we're still living. Up to I would say 3, 4 days ago, that was the conversation between me and my mom. I was giving her flowers as a mother. I was giving her flowers as a woman. I was giving her flowers as an individual. And that conversation stemmed because today is actually my mom's birthday. And
Oh,
we were having that conversation, and it did bring up a lot of memories with me growing up as a child as well. And I was letting her know that if I had the power to change things, I wouldn't. I would have done things just the same because I find that as I'm getting older, I tend to appreciate my upbringing a whole lot more than when I was going through it. So growing up on the island, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was one of the popular kids, I will say that. I was one of the popular kids. I was into netball. I would play netball for both my school and my community. I was into beauty pageants. I started at the age of 13, and I would do fashion shows. I would judge beauty pageants. I would chaperone contestants for beauty pageants. So it's like I did all the beautiful things that I should have done at that age. And which is one of the reasons I find that I would like to think that I'm well-rounded in my adult life because I did all the childhood stuff that I was supposed to. And growing up on the island, it's like on Sundays there would be beach parties down in Poilin. I'll be down there enjoying myself, music blasting, socializing, having a good time, and then going back to the whole beauty pageant thing, would be doing the promotion and doing all of those things. So, yeah, it kind of made me feel like I not only participated as a community member, but I had something to offer to the community as well. So I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased with my upbringing growing up there. Yeah,
So it
until I
sounds
left.
it it sounds like you've got lots of experience, not only in front of the scene in terms of doing the modeling and taking part, but you also
Mhm.
have behind the scenes
Yeah,
experiences as well. So
yeah.
you've got a well-rounded of experience of
Mhm.
what that particular industry was like from
Yeah,
very early
very, very.
age.
I
So
started at the age of 13. That was my
right.
very first beauty pageant that I did. I was 13. And then it just snowballed from there to the point that it got to the point that when certain girls knew I was participating in pageants, they'd be like, ah, nah, if Petra is going up, I ain't going up. No, it got to that point. Yes.
And you
But
got to travel, didn't you? Did you go to Barbados at one stage on holidays?
yes, my sister lived in Barbados, so I would go to Barbados every school holidays. I would go
Right.
there and spend majority of my vacation out there. And even then, I would go to Barbados and I would still be doing like crop over, and I would still do it. And at that time, I'm young. I'm just doing things, but not really appreciating it for what it actually is, not realizing that it was going to be part of like pages of my life as I become an adult. So I was already in there, but I didn't know how to tap into it just then. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun, and that's another thing that we have in common as well is our love
Hmm.
for soca music
Um,
and for going to various concerts, not just
hmm.
soca but reggae as well. And last night when I was reflecting, I think we have seen a Channa together, various Channans, Taurus Riley, Morgan Heritage. I mean, we have seen some big
Luciano
hitters.
and
Luciano,
Lane
yeah, we
and
have seen
Lane.
some
Yeah,
big
yeah.
hitters, in that fit. And we've also met Marshall Montano, which was
On
such
Angela
a
Hunt.
high,
We
and
did Angela.
Angela.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So, and if anything that I have missed since your move
Hmm.
will be going to those concerts together. But the other thing that you introduced me to was actually going to band launches.
Hmm.
So for our viewers, can you tell them what a band launch is?
Um, a band launch is that one specific event where specific bands will showcase the costumes leading up to the carnival. So you would have several band launches come the beginning of every year. Um, so that for me was something that I thoroughly participated in, bearing in mind that I love the whole creativity aspect of of costuming. I love the whole showcasing of it. I love the vibes. I love the energy that comes with it. So I would go to a lot of band launches just for that. And it became part of um the whole I don't know, the whole experience of Carnival for me. Um, if anything, I think I would enjoy that a tad bit more than I should, really and truly. But yeah, this is what the band launch is about: the showcasing of every band, showcasing the costumes for the upcoming carnival. So you would have
That
things
was a
in the
beer,
beginning of the
wasn't
year.
it?
Hmm?
I think we went to see a beer, and they introduced all the different sections who will
Hmm.
be taking part in
Hmm.
Notting Hill Carnival that
Hmm.
year, and
Hmm.
carnivals elsewhere across the world.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I also went to Tears Mass when they
Okay.
had their band launch as well.
Yes.
And it was all plush, the whole artistry around
Hmm.
theatre design, music,
Yes. It's a
lights, and
production.
cost. It's a production,
It
and
is.
I discovered that I really liked seeing what was coming next. It was like a preview, a
Hmm.
pre-carnival before the actual carnival. So
Yes.
that's another thing that we have in common as well. But tell me what was the your first experience of thinking, actually, you know what? I like this and I want to be able to be part of this annually.
Um, that emotion started I would say, during my London life. Because contrary to the fact that I grew up in St. Lucia, I've never participated in St. Lucian Carnival. One, I know it is surprising. It is
Yes.
surprising. But the thing is, going back to St. Lucia, growing up, with my mom being around, my mom was a little strict. My mom would not allow me to participate in that kind of thing. And back then, we kind of call it bacchanal. My mom would be like, why you want to go in them kind of bacchanal and them kind of things there? And then you may come home and then, the older folks, the way that they think, they always tend to the look at the bad aspect of things before they look at the positive. So I never participated in St. Lucia Carnival. But then I moved to, and not just that as well, um, being young as well, even if I did participate in it, I don't think I would appreciate it as I do now, if that makes sense. Because for me, it's not just about the feathers, and it's not just about the gems and living life glamorously. It's not about that. It is truly about the experience for me. It is truly about the culture. It's truly about me participating in what is shaping my life and young Caribbean people that's coming up. So I want to be a voice in that community. So I didn't participate in Solution Carnival, but for me, moving to England at the age of 18, that is where that light, or that light bulb in my head just went ting, 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 ting. This is where we belong. This is where we belong. So if we cannot put a whole foot in the door, we're going to start with a toe. We're going to start with a toe in that door. And I remember I I was working, but then I was speaking to a particular client, and then I don't want to mention names. And
Yeah.
then I was saying to her, "Oh gosh, Carnival is coming up, and I really want to go to Carnival. But the thing is, I ain't have nobody here who I could go and jump up with, and yada yada." So I was kind of having a little bit of a moaning. I was moaning at the time. And then she said to me, "Well, me and my girls, we're going. You want to come?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I want to come. What kind of question is that?" And that was it. It snowballed from there. Um, but as I continued doing the carnival, I started getting more opportunities to do different things and heading down different avenues regarding the carnival industry. And for me, being a creative person, every opportunity that I got, I ran with it. I didn't hold myself back. I didn't be like, even the things that I did not know, I would still take the opportunity and I would quickly go and learn about it. I would quickly like Google this and pull up YouTube on there if I didn't know how to create something or how to get that effective look I was looking for and stuff. So I would teach myself whilst I'm creating for other people. So for me, it's like Notting Hill Carnival was the very first carnival that made me understood where I feel comfortable and where I should be. It was Notting Hill. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And what I have learned is that carnival is it's the whole year round, isn't it?
It
Very
doesn't change.
often they start costumes the day after Notting Hill Carnival. They start
Hmm.
up for the following year. But
Hmm.
tell us about some of the opportunities that came for you to showcase Carnival outside of Notting Hill Carnival, because I know that you've worked with some big names doing
Yeah.
other things.
I've worked with um, Virgin, uh, and that came about when, at the time, I was in a particular carnival band, and Virgin hired the band for events. Would hire the band for events, and and then the band would then delegate those events to particular people. And I was one of those people that who got the phone call and they're like, "Hey, are you available on such and such a day?" And I remember that day I had to work. And then for some reason, I said, "Yeah, I'm available." And then I canceled work. And then I went and do the event that day. Because when I get opportunities like that, I always tend to think, you know what? One opportunity has that possibility of opening other possibilities for me and knowing where I wanted to be and where I was heading. I always made it a priority that I would take up opportunity in that particular space. And so when I got that phone call to work with Virgin, I said, yeah. And I went out there, did the thing. They were pleased with me, got great reviews. And that led into me working with NatWest as well, but for that was another event. That was for another opportunity that I got, where I worked with NatWest, and I was what you call a showgirl. Would be in the costumes and bringing the vibes, bringing the energy, bringing the Caribbean culture to people who came to the opportunity to the event. Sorry, and so I did that, and then. I don't know if there was another event that I did, I think 3 years consecutively, but I'm not sure I want to mention the name.
No,
I'm not
that's
sure if
absolutely
if I
your
want to
prerogative.
mention
I think what I'm trying to demonstrate is that
it.
you don't roll out of bed and end up at Notting Hill. There's a whole life
Mhm.
outside of that, of costume
Yes,
making, of designing,
definitely.
of showcasing Carnival to different cultures and
Hmm.
different institutions who
Hmm.
supports
Hmm.
Carnival as well. And I know at one stage you were doing something with shoes. You were revamping and repurposing shoes. Tell us all about that.
This this started when um what I call myself now, I call myself a veteran in Carnival. So this started when I get my costumes, the costumes were gorgeous. But then I have my particular style. Now, if I'm going to be on the road, I want to look like Petra and I want to feel like Petra. So whatever costume I chose, I would tweak it up a bit in the sense that I would add a few more pieces to it because I'm somebody I love my hand fandangles like you Pam would call it. You always call it fandangles. I love
Yeah.
that and I love wearing a nice pair of gloves and making it look a little bit classy. So I would do things like that and I would do the same with my shoes and jazz it up a bit. And it started like that. So people would see my shoes and be like, "Hey, did you do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is my stuff right there." So that snowballed, and I would first it started slowly, but then as the years progressed, I started getting orders to do costume shoes. But then it then progressed from shoes. Then I went on to do like tumblers. Then I went on to do then I started doing my own little accessories as well. And but it all started with me doing things to please myself. Other people then would see what I'm doing. And even when I would go to the band launches and go to like soccer feds and backyard jams and I'm going to those events, that I would bring my Petra version to those events, and then I would create my own pieces, and that would make people stand at attention. And with that as well, I would come down to it comes down to my makeup as well, because all the whole makeup and all of that is all part of my creativity, which in return brought I brought my makeup artistry into carnival as well, and I brought it into fashion shows, and then I brought it into like London Fashion Week, which I did for. Am I moving I'm moving too fast, aren't I?
Just a little bit,
Just
but
talking.
that's okay because I can always pull you back because I know that you did some
Mm,
training with Marilyn Fontaine. I was just looking
mm.
up her
Yeah,
name, and
yeah.
I think there was a couple pair of shoes that you were able to cover for me.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
certainly, I do remember a whole collection because I traveled and I decided to travel very late, and you were able to
Hmm.
switch up and repurpose some of the
Yeah,
t-shirts and clothes
yeah.
that I had that make them very unique and stand out
And then
from other pieces. What other
mm,
formal kind of training have you had?
a lot of my um creative work is self-taught. A lot of that is self-taught. Um, I don't know, sometimes you just know things, but you can't particularly say, well, this is the book I opened to read about that, or this is the video I watched. It's like you were just born with it. You just have the knowledge, you just have that inkling. And a lot of the time, because I have that creative instinct, I allow my instincts to guide me when I'm creating. And I will mention that because of that, where I follow my instincts when creating that, it kind of make it hard for me to create for other people when they're quite being quite specific. Because I go with the flow when I'm creating, but if I create for somebody who's quite specific on what they want, it's like it messes with that creative flow for me. So I like working with people who gives me creative leeway where I just create, and then they just trust my artistry, and they'll be like, okay, whatever you do, I'm happy with and stuff. But I don't know, it's like yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
I have personally been on the receiving. I do remember when we were going to Royal Ascot for Ladies' Day, and very late in the
What about
day,
that?
you realized that you needed at least a fascinator to be able to access the royal enclosure. And I see you pick up a few peacock feathers and a few other bits, a glue gun, and within the hour, you had the most stunning fascinator,
Uh, I
which
got so many
complemented your dress.
compliments.
That's what I remember. So many compliments that day from other
Yeah,
people. So,
yeah.
I've always known you to, when you're in the flow, don't get between Petra and her flow because she's
If
flowing
you
and
know,
she's
you
in
know.
her creative space. And so I've known you to cover shoes. I've known
Hmm.
you to be a milliner, and make your own hats. I've known you
Hmm.
to crochet, knit. So I do
Yeah.
remember one time you felt sorry for me when you saw a hole under my favorite cashmere cardigan, and you said,
Sorry.
enough of that. You took out your needle and you sewed it up for me. So you've
Right
always been
there.
creative. Again, what our viewers don't know is that you started my locks for me back in
Yes.
2006, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting compliments to this day about how my hair is growing. So
Yeah.
creativity is all around Petra.
It's all around. I cannot
Yeah,
run from it. And the thing is,
no.
no matter what country that I reside in, it finds me. This like that creative. creativity finds me, the community finds me, the people finds me, and then slowly the opportunity finds me. So it's that I cannot run away from it. So um, I'm at a point where I'm like, this is who I am. This is what I do, right? I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to indulge in it. I'm going to push myself into it. Because 2025, you and I had this conversation with you where, and then I said to you, January 2025, I said to you, I'm not feeling like me. So for the whole of 2025, I'm not going to do anything with myself. I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to take a break. I'm not doing a thing. All I'm going to do is go to work, come home, because I felt like I was not being navigated where my spirit should be, where I should be. And I was not getting clarity in what my, not my purpose, but what my journey should be heading to. So, and when I don't get clarity, I have that thing where I like to step back. So I'm like 2025, I'm not doing a thing, right? And I did absolutely that. I went to work, I came home. I went to work, I came home. I didn't do anything. I stopped all the projects that I was working on, and all of that to say ending 2025 is just about to end. We're 22nd December 2025. And the way 2026 is already looking, just because I took that break and I stepped back, now it's like I have that clarity. And I remember in that conversation, I said to you, if that thing does not bring me joy, I'm not doing it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do it. If I have to stop all 20 projects I was doing, if those projects are not bringing me joy, I'm not doing it. Right. And that's what I did. And here I am. I am, I feel ever so blessed for making that decision, because now I can sit here, have this interview with you, because making that decision have now manifested into opportunities that is bringing me extreme joy, to the point that from the time this interview has started, I am smiling from ear to ear just because of what I know is about to happen. So,
And
yeah.
that's what I admire about you. You know, if there was a title, Kai, to give you, I would call you the pivot queen in terms of all the different things you were able to pivot and launch yourself into. But in 2025 was all about a reset, wasn't it? It was
Yes.
all about stopping,
Mm-hmm.
pausing. And
Mm-hmm.
as your friend, you know, I supported you in that
Ah,
stop
sure.
and in that pause. Even if I didn't
Yeah.
understand it, I
Sure,
felt
sure.
as your friend, I
Yeah.
needed to support you in if you want to stop.
Yeah.
Island Empress, for example, which
You
you've
did.
just
You said
briefly
that.
touched on. You know, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
stop it, that's the right decision for you to
You did
make. If
say
you want
that.
to stop Island Emperor, because you were
Mm-hmm.
working with, you know, you had a client that you were working with
Mm-hmm.
in terms of delivering products for t-shirts and other merchandise for
Yeah.
men, and
Yeah.
said, okay, if you want to stop it, you must know, you know. And I think we didn't know what we were pausing for,
No, we
but
didn't.
and
We
what
just
that
know
was
we had
about. But
to.
yeah, but it gave me the opportunity to all the hours, I would say, you know, relax, reflect,
Mm-hmm.
reinvent oneself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, restore, all of those
Mm-hmm.
kind of words. That
Rejuvenate.
whole
Yeah.
year, you know,
Yeah.
renew, reborn,
Yeah.
it gave me the opportunity to just pause and say, um, if it doesn't bring me joy, or it doesn't bring me an income, or
I
it
don't want to do
doesn't
it.
bring me an opportunity, then I'm not doing it. And I
I'm
think
not
that's
doing it.
really brave, a
Mm-hmm.
brave thing for you know, women
Mm-hmm.
to have that space to actually not do
Mm-hmm.
anything. And it
Mm-hmm.
ties into a bigger conversation of particularly Black women around the world who are
Mm-hmm.
supporting everybody to
Yeah.
pause and stop and
Right.
support themselves, because
Mm-hmm.
we're always called upon to be of service to
Right.
others. And this whole 2025 for a lot of
Yeah.
women has been about, well, actually, I'm stopping, I'm not doing it anymore. It doesn't serve me. And
Exactly.
it was very brave of you to do that. And then it almost picking up on what you were saying before, it brought other people and other
Mhm.
opportunities into your life, just as 2026 is about to
Mhm.
start. Are
Mhm.
you ready to reveal? Are you ready? Because I'm bursting. I would have said it in the first 5 minutes, but it's entirely up to you. Do you want to maybe talk about your experiences in Paris and how this
Yes, let's go back.
opportunity? Yeah,
Let's go
yeah.
back.
Let's talk about your experience because you've had the opportunity to travel since you've been there,
Mm.
as well. Tell me some of the places that you've been to.
I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Belgium, I've been to Germany, I've been to Italy, I've been to Switzerland. Um, it was my intention to go to Spain, but then um, something happened. I can't remember what, and that did not
Mm,
happen. But even in traveling, because I think because the creating is in my bones, it's like no matter where I go, I'll be always finding that creative thing in whatever country I'm in. And then um, I went to, I can't remember where exactly that I went to, but I know I was in Amsterdam, and then I went to a thrift shop. Um, People may not know this about me, but I'm a thrifter. I love thrifts. I love thrift stores. Because when you go, you know what, I'm digressing. When you go to thrift shops, right, that is when you get to see artwork that are masterpieces in comparison to what you get, the modern pieces that you get now. A lot of the modern pieces, when you look at them, you can see a lot of them are quite rushed. And some of them, the techniques are not quite there. But then in thrifting, and I come across pieces from, say, for example, the 1950s era or the 1960s era, and you see the production that goes into the beadwork and the hems, and I look at all of those things. So I'm a thrifter. I digress. I digress. But I went to Amsterdam, and then I entered this thrift shop, and then I saw this blazer, but it's like every inch of the blazer is beadwork. I sat there. I literally took a chair and I sat, placed the chair in front of the piece, and I'm just sitting there looking at it. And a lady came up to me and said, um, do you want to purchase this? I said, I do, but I want to admire it first before I purchase it because the piece was so lovely and the color, it wasn't one of those conventional colors. It was more like a an ombre of teal. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry. I know, I know. When I talk about stuff like that, I tend to get in my head and my emotions about it. And but then I wanted to get the blazer, but then it wasn't my size. I was bummed out. But I say all of that to say no matter what country I go to,
right.
stuff like that finds me. It follows me, right? And I went to Belgium, and then again, I went to this factory where it looked like a factory where they were making clothes and specific using specific fabrics. And to be honest, these are fabrics that I myself had not really paid attention to, I would say, because my I like to believe I know a lot, but then I realized that I didn't know much with what I was seeing there that day. But no matter where I go, I find myself in those places, in that kind of atmosphere, in that kind of environment. And And going back to the conversation where if it does not bring me joy, I'm not doing it. It was in that process where I came to the realization that I need to stay true to who I am. And I say that because I've been trying to do other projects, do other things that are outside of my creative realm. And yes, I was successful at it, but it just was not right. So I've now decided to stay where I'm comfortable, stay where I know, and become a master at it and not play around like I'm afraid of it. I was blessed with it, so I'm going to tap into it. So, and again, I'm coming back to this opportunity for 2026. So when I got that opportunity, I owed and I had. And I remember when I got that phone call with that opportunity, I called you and I said to you, Pam, this is what's happening, da 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 da. Da. But, and then you said to me, your response was, why did you give that response so quickly? Right? Why not look for other avenues? Because already I was looking for ways to not, or not ways, but reasons to not take the opportunity
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was already running scared. Because in my head, I was like, damn, what if I do that? And then it's not successful. What if I take the opportunity and it's not loved? And what if I do it? And the what if started playing big games in my head.
And to stop you there before you
Mhm.
go ahead,
Yes.
I get it because what we should tell our listeners is that you're actually a qualified teacher. And
Yes.
you speak, you're fluent in French,
Yeah.
even though you don't think so. I've heard you. You're fluent in French.
Yeah.
You have been doing your French classes to
Yeah.
improve.
Mhm.
You have studied as a teacher
Mhm.
in English,
Mhm.
and you have so many other qualifications. You're always studying something that when another opportunity comes completely out of the blue, you're thinking,
Mhm.
is this really real?
This
Is
is
this
it.
something that I really
This
want
is
to,
it.
after pursuing other things? You have
Mhm.
been a social media
Mhm.
manager. So you
Yes.
have managed accounts on
Yeah.
Instagram and in other places, and even
Mhm.
managed mine for me as
Mhm.
well. And I had issues with my eyes. You have taken over
Mhm.
my account for me. So you are specialist in so many different things
Different
that
things.
I think that you were instantly overwhelmed when this opportunity came
Yeah.
around. Like, I've done nothing for the year. And then
Yeah.
suddenly, boom, something so huge and so
Yeah.
exciting has come your way.
Mhm.
I think that you were overwhelmed. And when we're overwhelmed, it's easy to say, to find reasons why we shouldn't do
Wow.
something
Should I? This
rather
is it.
than looking at reasons why we should do something.
This
So
is
I'm
it.
so glad between me and your mom and the people who love you that it was an opportunity that you felt that you could take up at this time.
This and this. I love the fact that you brought this up because it's not about having um 50 people in your life. Is about having the right sort of people in your life, and not just the right sort of people, but the people who actually do know you as an individual, your personality, your characteristics, what you're capable of. That really does matter. Because if I had to listen to myself, I probably wouldn't have been I wouldn't be doing what I'm about to do, right? But then having you who took me off the ledge and be like, what are you doing? Rather than give that answer, you should have given that answer. Rather than think about it like that, you should have thought about it like that. You put your 2 cents in, and then I took that, made a phone call, had a conversation, and then I called you back and I was like, we're doing this. And this is my point. It's about having the people who doesn't say, oh yeah, we're friends. We're not just friends. You know me. You know my capabilities that when you know I'm going to freak out, you calm me down and be like, no, you are going to do this. You're going to breathe. You're going to breathe again and you're going to breathe again, but you're doing this. right? And that's the kind of people that I think, and when I say the kind of people, I would say a Pam. I think everybody should have a Pam in their lives. And with that, there's another friend of mine who um who actually sent the opportunity my way in the sense she I was I made the statement in a jokingly manner. I was like, could you imagine? I can do that. That's a statement I made. And then she said, yeah, of course you can. I've seen your work. You can do that. And then she said, you should. I said to her, yeah. That was my response, yeah. And then she said to me, I actually know one of the organizers. One of the organizers is my friend. I'll put a word in for you. And I said, yeah, okay, whatever. It didn't have an hour. She called back and she said, here is the number. Here is the name. I've already spoken on your behalf. She's expecting a phone call from you, right? And again, the conversation comes back to having the right sort of people, people who will speak your name, like you just always say to me,
Always
speak your
say,
name in rooms that you are not even present in, right? And that is what happened. And I will mention her name. It was Vilma, right? That is what happened with Vilma. Vilma spoke my name to people and in rooms when I was oohing and eyeing, right? And then the opportunity that I had the conversation, it was good. Then I freaked out. Then I called you, and then you put me straight. And then I called my mom, and my mom was like, okay, let's do it. Whatever it is I can do to help, let me know. We're doing it. And it just took the three of you to fix me up mentally with the nonsense I was thinking. And I call it nonsense now because
yeah,
here we are. It took the three of you to fix me up mentally. And with that, it's the people who genuinely who you surround yourself with, they have to be genuine towards you and want to see greatness for you. They want greatness for you. They want betterment for you. And if you don't have that, or you have to question the people who surround you, the moment you have to question them and their actions or lack of actions, yeah, you probably shouldn't have them around. You probably shouldn't. Yeah.
no, no, I want to say thank you. Thank you for citing me as one of the women who supported you around
Oh,
your
for
big
sure.
announcement, your next big thing. And I think it's
Yes.
beautiful that you have your mum supporting you
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
She is exclusively in your camp
Um,
and probably just as
Forever.
excited, even more
Yes.
than I am. And I know
Yeah.
that I'm excited. You know, if
Mhm.
it was down to me, I would have told everybody on day one. So I had to rein myself in. It's not my business to tell. And in good time, and it could come from you. But you're
Mhm.
100% right about having the right people in your camp. And
Mhm.
I would also count you as one of the people that when TEDx Bayes
Ooh,
University came my
let's talk
way,
about it.
you were one of the first people to that I told who was excited
Yes.
for me. And you know, it's not everybody you can tell. In life, it's not everybody you can tell. And as someone who is a
Mhm.
multi-award winning author, I've got the trophies and the medals and the certificates to prove.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
everybody wants to hear your good news. Not everybody wants to, you know, you find that you have a big circle of people that you're telling,
Mhm.
and you know, the majority are happy for you. But I've noticed over the year that that particular circle has become
It will
smaller.
dwindle. It will
Yeah,
dwindle.
people
Yeah.
dwindle. Another award, I was told a couple of weekends ago, and you come down to those who are your hardcore,
Mhm.
die-hard friends who are
Mhm.
continually rooting for you, but
Mhm.
also looking at the next thing. Well, Pam, have you considered? X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
And I do
Yes.
recall some of our conversations that we have had. You were looking to get involved
Mhm.
in what's about to happen now, but not sure how you were going to break into it. And there
Mhm.
were a few organizations that you contacted, there were a
Mhm.
few people who you contacted, and they appeared to be closed doors. But what I
Yes.
love about this opportunity is that you were standing still, you were poised, you were reflecting, and the opportunity came to you. TEDx came to me. I said I didn't want to apply. I didn't want to fill an application form. Some people are requested to grace the TEDx stage, and
Mhm.
I was requested
Yes.
to do that in Abuja, Nigeria. And now I
Yeah.
see my friend didn't apply anywhere,
So,
didn't, stress herself knocking on other people's doors.
yeah,
She built her own table and she sat at that table and rested. And the
that's it.
opportunity, which is a beautiful opportunity,
Yes.
came to her. So,
Yeah.
Kai,
Yes.
tell us what this opportunity
Okay.
is.
So 2026, March 7th, 2026, I will be showcasing my designs as a designer for Paris Fashion Week. Now, I know every time I say it, I cannot control my excitement. It's like I'm a child. Take me back to when I'm like 10. Um, but whew, I need to breathe. With that opportunity, it's not just about me. It's about my culture. It's about making it a priority that no matter where I go, I take my culture with me because I I left St. Lucia, moved to England, spent I spent oh I s- uh, I spent 18 years in England, and then my culture was there. I got myself into carnival. I started creating. I started doing workshops as well, teaching kids how to do creative art pieces. I went to makeup school in England. I studied for that. I studied in Oxford Circus, um, Oxford Street, same thing, right? Okay. But yeah, I from there I went on to do cosmetology school. I got certified in that. Um, and then I went on to do other little courses. So in all of that, it's like I'm teaching. I'm not just keeping my culture to myself. I love being able to share my culture with other people, and especially people who are not Caribbean, from the Caribbean diaspora. Um, and now I'm here in Paris, and it's like I'm doing the same thing. It's like I'm just born to be a cultural advocate no matter where I go, right? And that was one of the things that I didn't quite know how to tap into despite I was already doing it. So now I'm sitting back for 2025 and coming out of it, coming back into the into the world slowly. I just came to the realization that this is where I belong, accept it, embrace it, and do what I have to do to continue being a better cultural promoter. And leading into Paris Fashion Week, every time I see the title, darling, every time leading into Paris Fashion Week, my designs are still going to be based on Caribbean culture. It's going to be based on who I am because I can't speak or design things that I don't know of. And what I know is um, I should design based on what resonates with me. 100%. So my pieces is going to be carnival based.
Just
So
hold
it's
you,
going to
just
be
hold you, just hold you there. I want to first of all say, 'cause I know you're quick
okay.
to get it out now. Congratulations. I've told
Thank
you
you
this
very
a
much.
billion times, but I'm saying it here so that the viewers know how proud I am of you
Thank
for
you.
running with this particular opportunity.
Thank
And now,
you.
can you tell us, Kai, what is the collection about?
Okay, so all right, so the people may realize that you're calling me Kai, so let me explore that a little bit. Um, every brand has their specific name that they're using. Um, Initially, I thought about using my name, like my full name, um, but then I've never been one to kind of go with using my full name in no matter what projects that I do, so that didn't sit right with me. But then at the same time, I wanted to use my name. So rather than you going for full Petra Baptiste, a lot of the design houses you have like, if we're going to say in English, we're going to say the House of Darion, right? Um, in French, we're going to say Maison de Rion, right? But in Creole, where I come from, and again, sticking true to who I am, house in Creole means is Kai. So hence the reason why I went with Kai Baptiste. So it's like the House of Baptiste, or um, so I thought, not because I'm here in Paris means I got to go with the whole maison thing. Because if I'm out here promoting my culture, let's stay true to the to the situation. So yeah, so it's Kai Baptiste, so which is the House of Baptiste. So that's a name I'm gonna go for. I'm going for Paris Fashion Week. And as for my designs, again, staying true to the culture, I my pieces are based on carnival costume, which is again bringing the carnival culture to Paris. Although Paris does have a kind of carnival situation going on, but it's not the way that we do it in the Caribbean or say Notting Hill. It's not that. It's not like that. So for me, I think it's a great way of bringing the authenticity of um, an aspect of authenticity when it comes to carnival. So my costumes are going to cover a range of different things that says Caribbean. So, say for example, the Caribbean is known for the ocean, for its waters. So, I have two of my pieces that's going to reflect the ocean. Um, then we have the actual carnival culture. At least three of my pieces is going to be carnival, like strictly the gems, the feathers, and all of that. And um, coming from St. Lucia, I wanted to go a little bit specific with that with my island. So two of my pieces is going to be um, paying tribute to our national flowers, which is we have the national flowers celebration, which we have La Rose and La Marguerite. So two of my pieces is going to reflect that, but it's going to be in costume form. And and then I have another two pieces that is going to be of macrame. Macrame is something that I'm doing for me, basically. It's something that is a skill that I am teaching myself. So I figured if I'm teaching myself how to go about macrame, so what best way to incorporate that? So so I think in total I'm going to be doing 10 pieces um, depicting different aspects of the Caribbean. And I'm excited for that. It is a lot of hard work, but what isn't the hard work? Everything does have aspects of hard work to it.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited. This is genuine excitement here right now. Uh, uh, so with that
Paris
on the
Fashion
day,
Week, from St. Lucia to Paris Fashion Week, is absolutely huge. And I'm excited for you. So
yeah,
excited that we are coming.
yeah,
So we will be somewhere, hopefully, on the front rows so that we can see everything. And I'm
we're in the
looking
front
forward. I've
row.
had a glimpse of some of the costumes that
Hmm.
you have made, which are
Hmm.
absolutely stunning. That
Yeah.
I think that people are going to be blown away and very impressed by
Hmm.
your work and the
Yeah.
detail that you go into. I don't think a couple of photos actually does it more justice. So I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to seeing it in person. And more
Hmm.
importantly, I'm looking forward to seeing you
Hmm.
with your models and walking on stage and celebrating you.
Yes.
That would be, a wonderful experience. So tell
Hmm.
us about the event, and do you know what hotel you're going to be, the show is taking place in, and how
Hmm.
many people, what's the capacity like? Tell us about that part.
I I've had the opportunity to go to that particular show twice. I went in March of 2025, which was my first time, and in attending that show, I was quite impressed with the whole organization of it and how the models came out. It was quite uniform how everything just happened. Um, and the venue for itself was mesmerizing. I can't remember the venue itself as in the name, but I do know that it was a venue that made you go, oh, so that is not just any little show that's about to happen, because we're talking about upscale hotels, and you have security, and then you have people to come and welcome you, and everything, and your name is on the seat, depending on whether you go for VIP or whatever it is, and everything is just aligned. I'm like, okay, cool. Then come October of 2025, I had the opportunity to go back to that very same show. And it's like every show that they have, it's like they're upping themselves. They're taking it one step up. So when I went in October, I I was left flabbergasted. And the thing about it is the people who comes to view the show, they don't come to play either. Even if you come to view the show and sit down, that doesn't mean that you got to look simple. The women, the women, the show that I went to in October, I saw a lady dressed in her full African attire. I'm talking about the turban, her cowrie shells, and I'm talking about her tribal markings. And I'm like, damn, right? So I bring all of that up to say that the people who participate, who come to spectate, they themselves make an effort. Because if you're not careful, you're going to think when people are just socializing, you're going to think that they're the models or they're the designers, and whereas we just come to spectate. So it's that kind of show, and this is for 26. It's March 7th, 2026. Um, I don't know. Uh, I think I'll post the flyer
Right.
on on my socials in the next few days. I'll post the flyer up so that everybody can see now that the interview um has is happening. Yay!
Yeah,
Sorry.
but we know the interview
Sorry.
doesn't actually land. It's not uploaded until the 1st of January
Until the 1st of
2026.
January.
So
Yeah.
whenever you feel able to give us little snippets of
Yes.
what's
I will,
happening and what you're up to, that would be
yeah.
fantastic.
I will post everything on my social media. I'm gonna mainly focus on Instagram for when it comes um when it comes to promoting the show, because I don't want to get myself too overwhelmed with having to do too many social media platforms and designing, and I'm doing the administrative work. So it's like I'm a one woman show happening at the moment.
Absolutely. Oh,
I'm
yeah,
a one
yeah.
woman show because I have to do, I have to still create the logo and create my bylines and with your help, you're going to do the bio for me and all of that. And so it's a lot that goes into the whole production of it. And at the moment, I'm doing everything. And bearing in mind, I'm not even feeling well right now. So yeah. But the show itself is going to be a memorable event. And I say that based on the previous shows that I've been to. And plus, for this one, I'm going to be there. So yeah, for sure, it's going to be memorable. Yes. But I would say that I already feel that my designs are going to be different in the sense that I'm bringing like true costumes kind of thing. So I'm going to be different, and I love that. I love that for me. I love whatever it is I'm doing. I love to stand out. I love to be different. I love to not blend with everybody else. And I will say as well with the designers that will be participating with me on the day, congratulations to them. And
Absolutely.
it truly is a pleasure to do Paris Fashion Week 2026 with them and the models as well. So yay. So at the
Yes.
moment I am literally um, taking photographs of everything that I'm doing, making
Question.
videos of everything that I'm doing, like even the materials that I'm using, the pieces that I'm using, because I want that to I want to create, which was your idea, to create a lookbook um, for um, for me to reflect later on and see like, hey, well, this is what I did, and this is what I have to prove like this actually happened. So I'm really trying my best to take photos of everything and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's a lot. It's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's why, some people may be wondering, well, how does this fit with the author to author podcast? It
hmm
fits because the lookbook,
hmm
and it's not an original idea. Michelle Obama has just produced her lookbook as well of
Yeah.
all of the clothes and outfits that she wore during her husband's presidency.
hmm
And
hmm
I thought, well, why not capture this moment of
hmm
from inception right the way to seeing your costumes come to life. And then we're
Exactly.
doing a part two to this interview
It
where
is.
you'll be in
Yes.
Paris and I will
Yeah.
be capturing, your journey
Yeah.
to the stage
Yeah.
and off the stage. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Can we reveal the other secret that people may not know about regarding one of your models? Oh, and it's not me, although I do feel offended that I was not even approached as a plus size model, but
Oh dear.
um,
Oh dear me.
I'm happy to for you to share who one of your models is going to be.
Okay. So, um, mm, what I did not mention was that um, two of my costumes are going to be male costumes. So I needed to have um, two male models. But the thing is, um, when it comes to costumes, it's like not everybody kind of wants to will be comfortable wearing it. So what better way to ask or use people that I know that are confident within use a male model that is confident within themselves, who can not just um, model but know about the culture itself, who on somebody who understands what it means to wear um, a costume like that. Somebody who understands the history of it. So I have asked Patrice Haynes, yes, to be one of my models for me for Paris Fashion Week, and as well with what he's studying at university as well, it kind of slips right into all of what he's doing because it comes down onto because what he's doing comes down onto like the whole production of it all and the whole designing and all of that. So having that as part of his repertoire, saying that, hey, I was a model for Paris Fashion Week, all of that kind of marries together. So what better way to not just use the opportunity for me, but to use the opportunity to help somebody else, and not just somebody, but a young man who is trying to learn the whole industry of it and going to school and to be better at it. So yes, so it is a great opportunity for me. It's a great opportunity for your son, Patrice Haynes, as well, for him. So like we to say, sometimes you don't just have to use the opportunity for yourself, but you have to try and bring somebody up with you. So this is me
Oh,
trying
oh,
to help
100,
somebody.
you know, and this is a huge elevator that has been pushed
Hmm.
down to accept him on the ground floor and to raise him,
Hmm.
to a few tiers so that he's able
Hmm.
to walk in Paris Fashion Week. Another reason
Hmm.
why I'm so excited. We're going to have to find a way to go VIP so that we can sit on the front row and see. For me to be able to see everything is
Yes.
important.
Yes.
And yes, you're right, it does fit into his university course. He's doing
Hmm.
theatre design.
Hmm.
And I think at some point in their course, they have to do the whole thing, the costume design, the making of the costumes for the
Hmm.
actors to wear, accessories, the whole detail. And
Hmm.
I can't think of a better learning experience than
Hmm.
to be able to walk through that process with you. I used to say to my children, you have to study hard because mummy doesn't know anybody. She's not connected with anybody that can support them
Yeah.
in what they want to
Yeah.
do. And
Yeah.
now, flash forward,
Yeah.
18 years, I'm able to say to, mummy does know someone who's a fashion designer at Paris Fashion Week. So is there a slot available for our son to take part? And
Yeah.
there you have it. So that's wonderful that the opportunity for Paris Fashion Week has come to him. And
Hmm.
other people will say that that sounds like favoritism and everything else, but the
Hmm.
old school boy network
Yeah.
gives opportunities within their circles. And now we are
Good.
creating our own network. I met two
Very so.
beautiful designers when I was speaking at an event in Portugal who
Hmm.
I'm going to keep in touch with because there may be other learning opportunities that can come out
Hmm.
of that for
Hmm.
for him. But you're the first. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for that. It's all very exciting. I've taken down my little suitcase. I already know what I'm going to wear. I've seen a pair of shoes. I don't really need them, but I've seen a pair of shoes which will just look just right. As I see my friend blossom and do what she's meant to do. It's all part of
Hmm.
self-actualizing, isn't it? And
It is.
finally feel as though you're
Definitely
ticking
is.
something off your bucket list of things that you want to do. But I've got a feeling, Kai, and um, you think I don't think that this is it. You do Paris Fashion Week
Mhm.
and it goes really well. it can only lead to further opportunities for you down the road.
So
But tell us, what will those opportunities look like?
I think so. I'm looking at the moment, I am eyeing to do Cannes Festival as well as a designer. Eyeing that. And one of the things that I have been eyeing for the how many years that I've been here, but never been able to push that door open for me. But I feel now that I'm starting with Paris Fashion Week, one of the opportunities that will come for that is where I can get into the carnival um, community here because one of the things I've always wanted to do, and I have on my bucket list, because I'm currently doing my bucket list, and so far I have crossed out a few things, but and doing Paris Fashion Week has is on my bucket list. So I am ever so grateful that this is another thing that I'm going to cross off. And one of the things I have on my bucket list is attending Cannes or visiting Cannes for that matter, because I've heard so much about it. Being a movie head myself, I've always heard about Cannes Festival and I've never I've never been. So I've always had this thing in my head that I need to go and visit Cannes someday. And residing in France, I mean, what am I doing? So, but then the opportunity is now in my it's in my view to do Cannes as a designer. So I get to I'm eyeing that opportunity because for me it's going to be like killing two birds with one stone. I get to go to Cannes, but I'm still as a designer. So the two most prominent thing that I would say for the future for me is Cannes Festival and getting myself into the carnival community here, which despite being here for I think 8 years, I've never done carnival here. So I want for 2026 that I am a regular for their for the carnival. And for some reason, my intuition, my instincts are telling me this is where when I do that, I'm going to get that opportunity that I want for me to get myself into the carnival community here. So if I not if, but when I achieve those things, I would consider 2026 to be productive for me. As far as I'm concerned, I do those three things for 2026. 2026 can finish. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy. So yeah, so for me, for 2026, it is Paris Fashion Week, do Cannes Festival, and jump up for the carnival here and see what comes out of that. All of that comes underneath the umbrella of um, celebrating my culture, taking my culture with me wherever I go. And it is all part of my platform, which is Island Emperor and Island Empress, where it's my platform is about celebrating people, individuals from the Caribbean diaspora in their respective fields in their celebrating their achievements. So all of that kind of just marry each other and stuff. So yeah. Oh, and in other conversation, I want to say thank you for nominating me for my award that I'm getting in February. Darling, look at me go. For somebody who did absolutely nothing in 2025, 2026 is looking like a blaze of fire, like it's ready for me, right? And I'm ready for it. So yeah, I've been
Well, I want to
nominated
step back.
for.
I want to step back. So, whilst you're getting the award in 2026, and congratulations to you, and
Thank
I
you.
do want to let our viewers know that this is a robust process. I could
Yeah.
nominate whoever I want to. It's down to the organization, women like me, who
Hmm.
scrutinize, do their due diligence, that they read and do their own research about you. So,
Hmm.
whilst I can nominate, the success about being an actual winner was totally down to you. And this
Yeah.
is not just based on what you did and didn't do in 2025. This is based on your body of work, of
Okay.
supporting people, of
Yeah.
promoting your culture and all
Mm-hmm.
that you do. So it wasn't sort of like I know somebody that knows somebody. This is
Mm-hmm.
about um, in recognition of your hard work in your
Yeah.
industry. So
Yeah.
that was the reason why I put your name forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that it was
Thank you.
successful because, as
Thank
far as
you.
I'm aware, the other person who I nominated did not get shortlisted and they were not winners. So I want you to own all of it, that it was down to your
Oh,
whole
I
body
didn't
of
know
work
that.
and not just based on
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
But in 2025, we've learned lots of lessons about our body of work.
Mm-hmm.
30 years odd as being a loctician,
Oh,
20 years off. You've done so much. It was about time. I felt it
yeah.
was about time you were recognized as well. But one thing you left off of your list for 2026, which I felt was important, was the book that you're writing at the moment as well, which is your project for next year. I haven't forgotten. I'm holding you to account. You said you were going to write a book. So why not tell our viewers all about your book and the title, which I think is apt.
Oh gosh, how could I ever forget about that? What is the matter with me? Oh, come on now, Petra. Um, right. So, oh wow, 2026 is quite prosperous indeed. So I've already started writing my book, which I started last year. Yeah, I started in 2024. Then to be honest, I wasn't quite feeling it because I think I was already in that mental state where I needed to take that break, stop, pause, and reset. But I just did not know it yet. So I did it, but I wasn't quite satisfied. So I stopped. And then I took the break 2025. I took that break. But then I've already done the bulk of the work, as in putting down all the thoughts, done all of that there. So now I just need to rearrange things and make sure that everything is concise and ready for readers. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping when I'm finished with Paris Fashion Week and I'm finished with Cannes, and then I'm finished with the Carnival. My next project is to finish the book, and uh, the idea is for it to come out at the end of 2026, or if not come out, but have my manuscript be looked at by the end of 2026. And and again, the book, all of that marries into my Caribbeanness. So the title of the book is called Daughters of the Caribbean. And Daughters of the Caribbean is based on all the different elements that we girls, women have to deal and face with growing up in the Caribbean society. And when I mention certain things, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, but it's not just the Caribbean that goes through that. Women from different parts of the world go through stuff like that," and that's quite understandable. But one thing I always say to people, I stick to what I know. I don't speak on what I don't know, and I'm quite knowledgeable and experienced in what I have seen growing up. So I'm going to speak from the Caribbean perspective of it all. So, and to be even more specific, I'm going to the St. Lucian perspective of it all. And it's about one of the chapters in the book talks about enmeshment. And when we had, I'm going to digress just a bit. When we had the clubhouse conversation, I came to the realization that a lot of the topics that we touched, um, Clubhouse was called Daughters of the Caribbean after my book. And then a lot of topics that we touched, um, the people who participated in the Clubhouse, they know or they knew that they were going through certain things, but they didn't have the terms, they didn't have the terminology to for what they were going through. And one of the things that I really appreciated about our clubhouse was that we didn't just speak on things, but we educated on certain things, and and we would have grown women saying, "Oh yeah, but I went through this, but I didn't know there was a name for it." And I think at that time we were talking about enmeshment. Um, and she didn't know what enmeshment was about, but she just knew that she was going through it. So my book covers uh, conversations about enmeshments. It covers abuse, um, and not just abuse, but abuse within the family household, and where that abuse is just being ignored, or um, the victims are not believed, or the victims are blamed, saying, "Oh, but you think that you're just a grown you think you're a big woman, so that's what you wanted, so that's what you get." That kind of mentality.
Yeah,
So the
yeah. I
book
think they
touches
call it
on.
now the adultification of our
Mhm.
girls. So
So
yeah, but I don't want to go into the
go
book
for this.
in so much detail
Yes.
because I want people to buy the book and but I think you've given me enough breadcrumbs for them
Or yeah,
to follow
that's what I
you.
wanted to go. There's some
And
breakdown.
right. We wanted to release some nuggets to get people
Hmm.
gripped and
Yes.
excited for you and excited for your journey. So if people want to follow you on social media, because they're
Hmm.
gripped by your journey and gripped by
Yes.
your stories,
Yes.
how can they find you?
I am on Instagram, Alan Empress and Emperor. I am on TikTok as well under the same name. Facebook, I am on the Petra the Rock on Facebook. Um, these are the main three platforms that I frequent. So that would be, yeah, the best three places for platforms for anybody to find me. Um, but I also want to say that even writing the book is still, like I was saying, it still marries into everything that I'm doing about promoting my culture. So it's about um, we touching on topics that we have to deal with in our Caribbean diaspora, and there is so much more that is being spoken about, um, and as well, not just spoken about, but a lot of the things that we just don't want to talk about. So the book will be about that. So yeah,
Good. I will
everything
stop
I
you there.
do,
Because
everything I do is
life
about
isn't
my
all
culture.
about carnival, is it? It's not all about
Yeah,
carnival and music and sunshine and
no,
we take a
no,
wine and blah 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 blah. There
yeah,
is so much more layers to Caribbean
yeah.
life,
It has its
including
depth.
some of the issues that you're talking
Mm-hmm,
about, which gives a whole broader picture of some
mm-hmm,
of the issues that are happening
mm-hmm,
now, have
mm-hmm,
happened in the past, and your book will make a difference for people to be able to hang something on,
mm-hmm,
like the word enmeshment,
mm-hmm,
which was new to me, but certainly have seen it, people who've experienced it
mm-hmm,
and being able to say, oh, that's what it was. Oh, that's
mm-hmm.
what it's called. Right.
Exactly.
Now I know what it's called. And,
Yeah,
my feelings are validated around those kind of issues. What I went through, I wasn't mad,
exactly.
I wasn't
Yes.
ill, this was
Mm-hmm,
real. So yes, it gives a whole rounded picture of what Caribbean life, can be like. So
mm-hmm,
thank you for sharing that. And I want to, you no doubt have things on your wish list. You mentioned it earlier that you're a one woman band,
yes, I am.
and a designer. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, somebody like Stella McCartney, who may be participating in Paris Fashion Week. While she works hard designing, she will
Mm-hmm,
have a team of people around her who will do the sewing, the beads, who
exactly.
will source materials. So, what's on your wish list? Your wish
Mm-hmm.
list, and how, if somebody has an opportunity for you, what's the best way for them to get hold of you so that they could help sponsor you or support you in some way?
You can contact me via email, which I check quite regularly, which is islandempress.biz@gmail.com. Contact me via that. If not, send me a DM on Instagram. I am on Instagram regularly as well. So those two places, for sure. If you send me any messages via there, then I will respond to you as soon as I can. Um, but yeah, as for help and sponsorship and any of those things, I am willing to have that conversation. And yeah, yeah.
So, right, so you've
I
heard it
thought,
here first. Yeah. Petra
yeah,
is a one-woman show,
yeah,
and I have no doubt she will be successful at Paris Fashion Week. But if you think that you can help her,
hmm
if you can source feathers, if you can source accessories, if you have a brand that you want to attach to what Kai is doing, then
hmm
you know how to get hold of her on
yeah.
Instagram and by email. Kai, please mention
But
the email
even
address again, please.
it's islandempress.biz@gmail.com. But even with that, if as well, because at the moment I am just about to start my press release regarding the whole Paris Fashion Week. Um, for I'm looking for opportunities for interviews to um, doing my inter. This is my first interview with Pamela or Haynes. This is my first interview to put this out to the world. I thought, well, with us being family, who else best would I give the first interview to? So, but I would love the opportunity to do other interviews as well to let everybody else knows from I don't know, different platforms, different places. Let them know what I am about to embark on. So yeah, so if you can't sew gems and stick feathers, but you can interview, then yeah, I would be open to interviews as well. So why am I speaking like this?
I don't know. But yes,
Speaking like I'm
that's
scared.
radio. We're looking at Paris radio, Paris TV. We're looking at international platforms.
Hmm.
If you have a platform and you want to
Yeah.
interview um, Kai, then please reach out. And I can tell you that it does work, Kai,
Mhm,
because I was looking for a publisher for my
mhm.
second book, Loving the
Yeah.
Sisters, and I use my platform, the author to author platform, to put a call out. If you're out there and
Mhm.
you like what it is that I'm doing, get in touch. And somebody did. So my publisher did.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
yeah, please use the opportunity to put a call out for what you want, because unless you let people know,
Mhm.
how is it that they can support, no, they can support you. So
Yeah.
so
I
we
agree.
have come to the end of part one of
Part
our
one.
interview. The
Yeah.
second part of our interview will be at some point in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, by that time, all of your costumes will be done. You'll be in a good place to
Mhm.
maybe do adjustments on one or two of your models, and you
Yeah.
will be on a high seeing your mum
Mhm.
in person in Paris, and myself and my husband are hoping to attend as well.
Mm.
And we'll sit down and have a good old natter about all things Paris Fashion Week. And
Yeah.
we will see you then.
But have you done a Paris Fashion Week? Is that going to be your first?
It will be my third
Yeah.
time in Paris,
First for
but my
first for all of
first
us.
time. But I'm intrigued. I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
But, obviously London Fashion Week is something that I would be keeping an eye on as well, because
Mhm.
it happens in my home city. But
Mhm.
in my very first attendance at a runway show
Yeah.
in Paris, and I'm so glad
Yeah.
that it's with somebody that I know.
Yes.
So that's just it's just like extra icing on top, extra sprinkling on
Mhm.
top to be in Paris, to see my friend, to see
Yeah.
her show. to see my son walk
Yes, sir.
in.
Yes, yes.
There's lots of little sprinklings that, the
Yeah.
cake is sweet. It's very sweet. So very much looking forward to all of that. But Petra, thank you for now. And
Thank you very much for
yeah,
this